Hey, Clinton, your pinkish hue matches the barrier behind you.
Indeed. Oh, stop that, Eric's.
Oh, Eric's.
Oh, I can adjust this a bit. Well, if I can.
Wait, are you using your mic or?
Yeah, can you hear me?
There you go. Oh, you just had your head turned. That's all. Stop turning your head.
For those that are just joining, we're working out the final technical issues to make a podcast.
Can you hear me now?
So one of my ex-bosses, who from ServiceNow till about 2021, reached out.
I love that company, ServiceNow till 2021.
He said, Chuck, I'd like to introduce you to Bill. Bill also has a Star Trek podcast. oh, that means there's too many of us now.
It's all the rage.
What's his last name? Shatner.
Yeah.
So shout out to Trek geeks.
Hey, I got to tell you, one of my coworkers was telling me that no, who was
Trek geek sounds familiar. No. Like I think I've heard of that.
I think it was actually Harrison may have been talking about it. He said he was telling his friend that my dad does a Star Trek podcast called The Topic is Trek. He goes, "Oh yeah, I know about it." I was like, "Oh really? He knows about it?"
Yeah, it's like the punchline of a joke.
Yeah. He goes, "I avoid it like the plague, but I know about it." No.
What are three old guys doing every once in a while? Talking about Star Trek. The topic is Trek.
You just have to say the topic is Trek, and they go, "I love that joke."
All right,
just podcasts turn out like this.
I like that though. That's like a long time ago. I remember seeing somebody when I was going to work and I was going up the elevator, and I saw on their iPod, believe it or not, they were listening to Technorama. I was like,
"Would you like me to sign that?"
Hey, yeah.
Took a big Sharpie and right across it.
Can I get a selfie with you? You're a listener.
Right on the front of the iPod.
I think we got to go to Ripley's Believe It or Not later on. So,
Good thing we don't do video yet. That's what I told them. But wait,
then it all changed.
Are we just about ready to start?
About as ready as we're ever going to be. Hold on just 1 second, though, because it looks like something disappeared on me, and I got to get it back here. I've got two of these, and so I don't know which one is the right one because I deleted.
Hang on, people, we're getting there.
Yeah, eventually. Title goes there.
So this is either the right slide deck or it's not. So we'll have to see. How's that?
It's deck roulette.
Yes.
Is it the right one or is it not?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
All right, I am all set.
Ready? Okay, in 3, 2, 1.
This is The Topic is Trek, episode 202 for Friday, May 15th, 2026. Coming up in this episode, is something up in San Diego? Is something up in Hop Hog? Is something up at the edge of the galaxy? All that and more right now on The Topic is Trek. Cue the Q in the queue.
Welcome to The Topic is Trek, the podcast that runs on impulse power. Join us for a journey where no show has gone before. If it has to do with Star Trek, there's a good chance we'll talk about it. Sooner or later, because on this show, the topic is Trek. Engage already.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another thrill-packed edition of The Topic is Trek. I am Clinton, one of your co-hosts for the show, and as I sometimes say, you always have to have a co-host. No, as I always say, you sometimes have to have a I don't remember. I say something, and in order to have co-hosts, I have to have them beamed in. So first, beaming in from parts unknown with the hip new catchphrase that you will be... This is the hip catchphrase of the summer. It's Mr. Craig Stepp.
I like big books, and I cannot lie.
I was worried when you started that. So
What books, right?
I said
books.
books.
Okay.
Books.
I like big books, and I cannot lie.
Well,
There you go.
here's a Funkin' Wagnall right here for you. And
That's
also,
too big.
and also beaming into, how about this Encyclopedia Britannica? Now there's a,
Look, even I got my limits.
mm,
All right.
it is Mr. Chuck Tomasi.
Hello again.
Well, that
Hello,
was
hello,
witty.
hello.
How's
That
everybody
was
doing?
really witty. Thanks, Chuck.
Hey, I'm not the one put on pressure every week to come up with some witty phrase, but I think I might have to start based on what we've got for the last couple hundred shows.
Well, yes. Just jot down your hip new catchphrases of the day, and
We'll see if the next 9 years is any better.
Yeah, right.
all right. Well, this episode we're going to be doing some news in Subspace Chatter, of course, with the permission of you know who, and then we're going to be discussing the first of 3 books in the Q Continuum trilogy, Q Space. So if you've read the book, then you're more than welcome to, if you happen to be in the chat, to chime in on any of your thoughts on the book. If you haven't read the book, well, there will be
We'll read it
spoilers.
to you.
Yeah, there will be spoilers. But then again, this book came out in 1998, so
Oh, I thought we were going to read it to them.
no, that's it. I don't think there's no time for that. We can't do that.
You know,
Crank it
actually,
to
there.
you.
I found out. Well, it looks that way. That this was actually. There's one book called the Q Continuum. I think it has all 3
No,
of
that,
these.
well, that
books
is
in it.
that's the Kindle book that I got. That's
Okay, so
all
that's what I
them
was.
combined together.
I was like, wow, if I'd known that, I would have just grabbed that one. But so it's 3 individual novels, but there was also one big one. Like
Yeah, it's kind of like when they take comics and they put them all together as like an annual or something
Yeah.
like that. It's that type of thing.
okay.
All right. So in order to start things off, we need permission to do Subspace Chatter. So we don't know whether we'll get Good Charlie, who's ironically Mirror Charlie, or Charlie X, but we're going to ask Charlie, is it okay to go ahead and do Subspace Chatter?
Sure thing, friend. I love subspace chatter. Let's get going.
All right. And please, Craig, do not make fun of his goatee again.
He's sensitive about it. I'll send you the
Again, I've never. Oh my god.
All right, Chuck, you have the first story now that Charlie's given us the big okay.
I do. Great news for Trekkies on a budget, and that would include most of us.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been looking for a revisit to the Kelvin timeline, you no longer need Paramount Plus subscription to do it. As of May 1st, 2026, J.J. Abrams' Star Trek Into Darkness and Star Trek Beyond have officially beamed onto Tubi. The trilogy moved over after leaving Pluto TV last month, and while the classic films didn't make the jump, these 3, I'm using this in quotes, high-octane adventures are now streaming completely free. So if you want to see Chris Pine's Kirk, Zachary Quinto's Spock in action, just head over to Tubi and start your marathon.
Well, High Octane Act, they crashed the Enterprise in one of them, and they crashed another starship in San
They
Francisco in one.
Crash
And,
the Enterprise, it was shocking in
yeah, it was shocking
First
in Star
Spock.
Trek 3, and then
Yeah. Now it's just become a meme. In
now it's
fact,
become like a badge of honor if you've survived more than
Yeah.
3 movies with an Enterprise.
Actually, Chuck, the way you read it, I was like, sounds like there was 2. You said
Yeah.
Star Trek Into Darkness, and I went, oh, it sounds like there's just 2 movies there. Or
Star Trek,
coming
comma.
on. Yeah. So, but yeah, we're good. I watch them often. I
I
enjoy
have
them.
them on. Do I have those on Plex? I have to think.
I think I
Whether
bought
I'm-
them.
He's
I
perplexed.
had them on DVD. They're on my Plex server. That's the rule.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Craig, what do you got for us?
All right, so William Shatner recently revealed that a massive Star Trek event is planned for Star Trek Night at San Diego Comic-Con in
You mean
2026.
Saturday night?
Yeah, Saturday night. They haven't rethemed it.
Now who's having problems?
I'm renaming it. Okay, fine.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Saturday.
that's fair. That's fair.
So it's Friday night, Star Trek Night, Sunday. Saturday night, San Diego Comic-Con in 2026. Shatner noted that the gathering will encompass all of the shows, suggesting a franchise-wide celebration despite Paramount's recent production scalebacks. while Shatner cannot attend due to scheduling, his invitation hints at a legacy-focused presentation in Hall H. Expect updates for Strange New World Season 4, premiering on July 23rd, and the final season of Starfleet Academy. With the convention only 69 days away, this signals
Excellent.
this signals Star Trek remains as a cornerstone at the event.
So
Isn't everything in Hall H?
well, no, Hall H. There are other there are the other rooms to have panels and so forth in, but Hall H is the largest.
The
hall.
main one. Oh, okay. Okay.
And that's the one that, for one reason or another, they do not clear between panels. So if you want to see a panel at 2 p.m,
You might have to get there at 6 a.m.
and that's what I did
And sit
the
there.
year I went. My panel was at 2 p.m. I had to be there for the first panel, like in hours before that, to get into the room.
Well, what did you see? What were you there for?
That was the year. Saw the community panel that year.
Oh, of course. That makes a lot of sense. Good.
All right.
That's funny
Yeah,
because we're doing a panel at Phoenix Fan Fusion on building a community.
It's not really the same thing unless you have Annie's Boobs the monkey, and it's not the same thing.
You know, hey, by the
Working on it.
way,
Working on it.
you know, we all go to Dragon Con, and you know how many people ask me, how was your Comic-Con? It's like, well,
You just
I-
failed the nerd quiz.
yeah. It's like- I get that from a lot of people. Hey, Jed,
Have you-
enjoy your Comic-Con?
Have you ever been to a Comic-Con, Craig?
Not in San Diego. There was
No, but I
one-
mean any of them.
there was one labeled Comic-Con. It was in Charlotte, I think it was. Yeah, we went there and it was all right. It was kind of small scale, especially compared to San Diego
Or New York.
or
Yeah.
New York. Yeah.
Yeah,
But no, I don't know if I really have. It's just but I think it was named Comic-Con, and it was, like I said, it was in Charlotte.
yeah. New York and San Diego are completely different vibes. I've been to one of both of them, and New York is all in just the Javits Center,
Mhm.
where really San Diego's mostly in the convention center, but it's spread out beyond there to some of the other hotels and stuff. And the out onto the water, they have different cruises. They have stuff with different parking lots, pop-up things happen in those places. So
Cruises.
yeah,
Folks that go out in the harbor.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
the okay?
but it's sponsored by like Netflix or whoever for those
Oh.
things.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
All right. Well, speaking of which, summer convention season is ready to roll with the Fan Run Con Trek Long Island #4, which takes place Friday, June 12th through Sunday, June 14th in Hauppauge, New York. This year's headliner is Nana Visitor, who will be joined by fellow 1990s television veterans like Jeffrey Combs and Nicole DeBoer,
Mhm.
among others. The original 1960s series is also represented by guest Louise Sorel, who played Raina in Requiem for Methuselah. And not to be left out, streaming era Trek guests will include Celia Rose Gooding, Kareem Dahani, and voice actor from Prodigy, Bonnie Gordon. Fans can also participate in events like an Art of the Resistance painting class with Nana Visitor, enjoy wine and cheese tasting with Jeffrey Combs, or learn glass etching from DeBoer. And the weekend, so don't make a mistake because you're etching right in there. And the weekend also includes a Live Loud and Prosper drag show, cocktail party, a luau buffet, and several documentary screenings. But what makes this fan-run convention really special is the fact that the entire weekend is hosted by the nonprofit organization Library for the Kind, meaning your attendance directly helps raise funds to support diversity and inclusion in children's literacy programs.
Yay.
Nice.
We'll have a link to the excuse me, hold on. We'll have a link to the convention website over in the show notes for episode 202, Cue the Q in the Q, over at thetopicistrek.com.
Next story. The USS Enterprise is more than just a spaceship. Of course, we all know that. It's a symbol of American ideals. Oh, this demands reverb. It's a symbol of American ideals.
Oh, not that kind of symbol. Sorry.
Truth, justice, and the American way.
As part of NPR's America in Pursuit series, Jennifer Ludden explores how the iconic ship, now housed at the Smithsonian, revolutionized sci-fi. Beyond its unique design, of course, the USS Enterprise represented a utopian future of inclusion. The show's diversity famously convinced Nichelle Nichols to stay on the series after a pep talk from none other than Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and later inspired trailblazers like astronaut Mae Jemison. Decades later, the Enterprise remains a powerful reminder of our collective quest to boldly go.
Go where?
Lots of influences from the ship.
That away.
I think they meant the crew too.
That's
okay.
awesome. All right.
And Craig, I believe you have the last of our regular stories here.
Yeah. So the newly released book, The Art of Star Trek Lower Decks, authored by Megan Trevino, offers an expansive behind-the-scenes look at all 50 episodes of the animated series. Spanning over 340 pages, it features prototype character sketches, environment art, and commentary from showrunner Mike McMahon. The collection highlights the evolution of the main cast and the Cerritos, which originally envisioned was a modified Galaxy class ship before shifting to its final California class design. The notable feature is the inclusion of the roads not taken, such as early designs for Lieutenant Shax as a muscle-bound koala
Well, I think the koala still got in there anyway, but
or a purple troll. I was going to say, I think we've seen some of those floating around in the whole thing. The book also tracks deep cut Easter eggs, including a specific placement of Chateau Picard crates and the translation of the Zephram Cochrane statue in the show's art style. Released on May 5th, it is currently available in hardcover and on digital formats.
Fun.
Cool.
I will check that out.
All right. And I hadn't prepared anything in advance. However, we have some things here in the show notes. So we're going to go in Vulcan, Alberta, Canada news.
Let's boldly go there.
We
Yes,
need a
well-
sound effect for that.
Okay.
Just for
A
regular
Vulcan transporter.
There we go. I've just done it. All right.
A.
So
No.
Live
This
long,
story-
live long and prosper,
there you go.
No, you just offended a whole bunch of people.
I'm sure.
That's my job.
It wouldn't be the
okay.
first time.
All right. So this story comes to us, of course, from the High River Online. Oh, it's not from the Vulcan Advocate. All right. Vulcan County is proclaiming May 4th through 8th. So I'm sorry you missed it, as Economic Development Week. That's right. To celebrate, the county is launching a brand new economic development website. Well, say that 3 times fast.
Mhm.
Explore Vulcan County helps locals and visitors learn more about local businesses, industry, living, and tourism. For more than 50 years, Economic Development Alberta has served as Alberta's leading economic development network, advancing the profession through valuable resources, training, and networking opportunities, said the county.
The whole county?
The whole county said
All
that.
at once.
That's amazing. I needed the reverb for that then, because that
Only
was like
4 guys. It's like
Yeah, I
4
was gonna say 2 people can talk in unison pretty easily.
Now who is insulting who now?
Chuck.
Totally, that's my job.
In
Yeah.
alignment with this legacy, Vulcan County joins communities across the province in celebrating the professionals and partnerships that drive economic growth and opportunity. Oh, I see. So Vulcan is just joining in now. They're nothing
Mhm.
special. Other provinces were doing this. Is that what we're saying? Well,
Yes.
that's a fine how do you do? How do you do? All right. And that's it in Vulcan, Alberta, Canada news. So that means that it's time to say, well, just 1 second here. It's time to give a fond farewell to Charlie.
Thanks for having me along. It was fun. But now my Phasian step-parents are calling, so I gotta go! 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 Go!
Man, the reverb in this ship sucks.
Yeah. That was one voice for
Acoustics.
everybody in Vulcan, Alberta count. Anyway, let's
Now my Phasian step parents are calling, and I sent them to voicemail.
job, right?
Your message is important to us. Please stand by. We also want to point out that we have links to 47. That's right.
Oh, where does that number
47.
sound familiar?
Yeah. Additional stories broken out by series, movies, and other categories. And you can find that over in the show notes, once again, for episode 202, Cue the Q in the queue over at thetopicstrek.com. All right. And exactly, Eric. You know the score here.
47.
47. There's just something about that number. I can't quite place it, but there's just something about it.
It's the question. It's the answer to everything. The universe. No, it's not right.
No, that's 42. Close. That is close, but
Can I mute
It's-
him now?
What is 47 minus 5?
there you go.
And the ultimate computer crashed.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't have floating point basic yet.
I wasn't set up for basic math. But now it's time to head out on our main mission with an appropriate sound effect.
Whoa, that's not the right sound effect.
Wow.
Wow. That escalated quickly.
Well, it is a story about Q, so why not?
Yeah.
All right. So,
Shields up, red alert.
do you want to give us a little bit of a background here, Chuck?
Sure. We are talking about one of 3 in a trilogy. Book 1, Star Trek The Next Generation novel called Q Space. It's the first of 3 books, as I mentioned, from the Q Continuum story. Originally published in August 1998, written by Greg Cox. And here's a little bit of background on the author. Greg, Star Trek works include the novels of Khan Noonien Singh trilogy. Not singing like his vocalizations.
No.
I'm singing in the rain.
I will get you, Kirk.
Oh, that's one of the things they're going to have at
Khan the musical.
at the Long Island Trek is
There we go.
Con the musical. Yep.
Okay. As well as Assignment Eternity and the Q Continuum trilogy, Devil in the Sky, and many others. He has been nominated for 2 Scribe Awards for his Star Trek work. First in 2013 for the Rings of Time, and then again in 2015 for Foul Deeds Will Rise. So does Foul Air.
Mwahaha.
A short plot synopsis of the book. Ever since its discovery, the Great Galactic Barrier has impeded humanity's exploration of the universe beyond the Milky Way. Now, a brilliant Federation scientist may have found a way to breach the barrier, and the Enterprise is going to put it to the test. With so much at stake, the last thing Picard needs is a return visit from his omnipotent troublemaker.
Mhm.
So naturally, Q appears. But Q has more in mind than his usual pranks. And while the Enterprise struggles to defeat a powerful inhuman foe, Captain Picard must embark on his fantastic odyssey.
I was gonna say, wait, now.
He's
Well,
a-
Riza.
A fantastic odyssey into the history of the Q Continuum itself, with the fate of the galaxy hanging in the balance.
Or he's going to go off to a hollow suite on Deep Space Nine, apparently. I don't know, one or the other. I can't quite tell.
Hey, Chuck's reverb is money well spent.
Yes, indeed it is. All right.
I didn't spend any money on it.
So we have our story here.
Takes
And
place in the
well,
where would it be before insurrection? No, before insurrection, but after
well, it's definitely after
first contact.
Yeah,
right,
because they're in the Enterprise E, so
right.
Yeah.
Which I had to keep reminding myself when I was trying to create images going, nope, I'm not looking for D, I'm looking for E
yeah.
Right.
to do that stuff with. Yeah, so it's I'm gonna start off with my
Review
thought here of one of the
rating.
problems of this book, as far as I'm
Okay.
concerned,
All right.
is that it is the first book in a trilogy and it just ends.
You
Not
didn't like it as a cliffhanger?
not a single thing gets resolved in the entire book.
No, not
No,
really.
but they really gave you. I think they gave away a bit too much. because it was kind of transparent where we're going. Should we talk about the basic premise of the story? We did.
Yes,
in the
please.
short-
Please
we did in a short
do.
plot synopsis. So they've
Yeah.
got a Betazoid scientist with his 2 kids on board. We're heading to the galactic barrier, and they say, first, before we launch your experiment, we should send a test probe.
All right, let's talk about then what the experiment is.
There's actually a prelude, a prologue to this. Before that, we've got this strange dialogue, almost like an insane person.
Lots of rhyming.
Lots of rhyming. Q the who's Q is back and forth, and it's just this little jabber for a paragraph or two. And you're like, okay, did anyone else hear reverb when they were reading that?
It was a little
yeah.
weird reading it. And it was like they would. I'm trying to remember exactly what it said. Q is here is Q, or something like. It was like back and forth.
And they were talking about a wall. So when they start talking about this galactic barrier, my mind immediately goes, oh, this is some entity on the other side of the barrier.
Yep.
Mhm.
And when Q shows up, they launch the probe, and Q shows up and goes, no, you really don't want to do this experiment. And of course, Jean-Luc says, please tell us why.
And he
it's
won't.
back and forth. He says, well, you're just gonna have to trust me on this one. And Q's
Everyone-
wife shows up, and Q's baby shows up.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so I'm assuming this is the same child that we see later on in Voyager,
That was my assumption as well.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
but
I visualized the same woman actor, so
yeah,
that's-
but Q as opposed to Q, I don't.
there was a little Q.
Yeah, a little Q for baby Q, just a lowercase Q.
It was a lowercase
right.
Q letter.
Lower's KQ.
But
That's right.
for the John Delancey Q, we'll say that Q and his wife, they're both just Q.
Right. And you just had to take it in context because they were rarely ever together in this story. So the doctor is of ill health, not Dr. Crusher, but the scientist doctor. What was his name?
His name was
Lem-
Lem Fall.
That's
Yeah.
it. So Dr. Lem Fall is not doing well, and this is his life's work, and he wants to make this happen. And
A little too insistently for lots of people's, comfort.
and then we have Reg. Reg Barkley is in the story, and
Oh, yeah.
early on, he's called to assist in engineering with Geordi and Dr. Fall, and he just about destroys.
He like hits it
some
with his elbow
critical
or
piece of
something.
equipment.
Yep.
Yeah, he makes a bad impression. So of course they put him on another project later somewhere else.
The science Lamb was about to hit him.
He was about to
He-
backslap him
he
across
was
the
ready to
face.
explode.
Yeah, he was like getting crazy, but I think it was to show his obsession with what he's trying to do.
Well,
Obviously,
that-
when
but
all that
that's the
work.
thing is that we'll continue. Chuck, you should definitely continue with it, but I want to just stop here for a second to say that he becomes very one-dimensional at that point
Mhm.
because he's
Who,
just
Reg or Dr. Fall?
well, Reg is Reg. No, yeah, Dr. Fall,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he just keeps going on and on about this has to happen. I don't have much time left, and
Mhm.
it must happen. And you know what it started to feel like to me? It started to feel like knowing there's something on the other side of that barrier. It started to feel like Star Trek V.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were hints of that as well. They did differentiate between the galactic barrier on the outside
Yep.
and the galactic core. What did what was the other term?
Yeah, I forget the way we distinguish the two of them, but it's like, oh yeah, there's the other one too.
And they were surmising they were the same energy. So if we could figure out one, we can figure out the other. It's like, well, we went through the one at the center, and the Enterprise. There were some significant amount of callbacks in this book, which we alluded to on the last episode.
And this book came out before the Discovery just maneuvered its way through the galactic barrier.
Well, I think it kind of his motivations kind of. I wasn't sure if he thought there was something else over there, or once it was revealed that he was sick with Iverson syndrome.
Yeah, which
I thought-
is he doesn't even get his own disease because that was the same disease. I wrote it down here that
Mhm.
was in Too Short a Season. So he didn't
Oh.
even get his own disease, for crying out loud.
Right.
Hey.
He borrowed somebody else's.
Yeah.
Well, my thought was either he thinks there's something else over there, or he thinks there's something that can help him, or he was
Mhm.
trying to solidify himself in something he wanted to accomplish before
Well, like
he
his
died.
legacy, I suppose.
Yeah,
Because
his legacy. Yeah.
what he's planning to
'Cause-
do is launch his
because-
probe to find in this very, very narrow,
A weak spot. We'll
slight-
call it a weak
very,
spot.
very
in the
slight
area.
weak spot in the galactic barrier,
hmm
and to get through to the other side of it.
And
Which
his kid to the legacy thing, he's totally neglecting the 2 children he brought on board.
right.
Yeah.
He had to do because mom died 6 months earlier or something.
Mhm.
So he's got the kids. They're being taken care of in daycare or left alone in their cabin.
In the
Well,
hollow
kind
suite.
of what there is for daycare, because remember, the Enterprise E is not for families.
That's right.
Right.
The D was, but then the E they put it into that.
Right.
So Q and Q show up.
You keeping track of that one? We can't lowercase
Dad-
it. I'm sorry. We can't.
Dad takes off with Jean-Luc right as the Calamarain show up. Remember the Calamarain? When
Yes.
he lost his powers and they came after him because
Yep.
he apparently punished them or played a joke on them or something in an earlier episode. So nice callback, nice tie into the storyline. We're now familiar. Although I will say I am significantly disappointed in the Kindle audio, the assistive technology to read the story to you. It was switching between data and data.
Mm.
It was sometimes
So it's read by
calling-
Pulaski. Is that
Well-
what you're saying? I don't.
it was yeah. It was saying Calamarain. It was saying
Calamarain.
Calamarain. It was
Yeah.
driving me bananas.
my
Well,
problem
with
is-
2026, we have AI narration on YouTube videos, which drives me nuts. But at least, the meter, the tempo is pleasant.
Unless they come to a period in like a word like Mr. and then they go,
Right.
Mr. So and so.
Yeah, that one and
No.
place names are a little off, but
No.
so I won't bash on that anymore. But
So I
Greg?
think the Calamarain weren't there necessarily for Q,
no,
but they were there because of the
same reason.
a fracture that they're trying to put in the barrier, and that was scaring them.
Yeah, same reason. It's like stay the heck away.
Mhm.
But since we can't communicate, we don't even know if it's one Calamarain or a colony of Calamarain, or if it's the same one we saw in the previous
what's
storyline.
plural Calamarain?
Calamarain.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
sugar. What's the plural of sugar?
Well, my
Yeah.
problem with having the Calamarain back is I kept hearing in my head, Almarain, that
Yeah.
Right,
episode
Calamarain,
of
count
Deep
to
Space
4.
Nine. No.
I thought the same thing. I started to go down that rabbit hole. I was like, no.
Don't
Clear my
do
head.
it.
Well, you
Yeah.
should have had the audio on where they say Calamarain.
Calamarain, yeah.
That'll take your mind off of it. So occasionally they keep going back to this disembodied voice that rhymes. And he says he was referring to the Calamarain as the smoke. The Enterprise was a shiny bug, and he knew who Q was. So we know there's some interaction there between this entity and the Q. So
What we don't really know is, does I'll say Ms. Q know what the deal is or not? Because we don't really get any sense of whether or not. I mean, because she's there and the kid is there, and so far they've done nothing really.
right, the
But
kid has
watch-
gotten into
watch-
some mischief.
Yeah. What was that? The kid was playing with what they thought was a ball, and Jordy was like,
It's
hey, wait a
planet.
minute.
It's a planet, yeah.
That's a planet. It's got a core and everything.
Give it to Barkley.
Let him play with it.
What could go wrong? So I'm wondering, does she actually know what the deal is here? Because she's not giving any hint that she does.
Up to this point, they didn't really add a lot to the story.
Right.
We're flipping between 3 scenes generally. One with Q and Baby Q doing something.
Well, they were
One
kind of
of Riker-
being they were
Riker
kind of
on
being
the bridge battling the Calamarain, and then Picard and Q going through their various adventures.
well.
So those
I
are
think
three
the mother and the baby were basically doing Q things, right? They were just kind of
I see in Q's absence, playing the part of Q in this episode
Well,
will be Q.
but they didn't have the same. I don't know. They weren't giving the same vibes of stay away, don't do this. They were
Right.
just sort of, oh, that's my child. He'll do
Yeah,
stuff like that. And
What a shame your ship may not survive. You should,
Right.
you should take care of this and have it be done.
and at first she was like, I don't know what my husband finds in this fascination, but I think she gradually started going, oh, I'm starting to get it. Why he finds you primitive beings fascinating. So there was a slight turn there, but they just weren't adding a whole lot to the overall storyline. And maybe that will resolve itself in books 2 and 3. I don't know. They had to have been put there for a reason.
Yeah.
And the arc with Jean-Luc and Q were taken through a number of scenarios. So these were actually, I could visualize these pretty good. Some things we've seen before, like that silver sphere with the 3-headed snakes. They're going through time. Like, where
And the
are we
Guardians
now?
forever?
Where the Guardian of Forever? Where are we now? We're 2 billion years in the past.
Well,
Where are we
wait a
now? We're
minute.
2 billion
Now,
years in the
didn't Q kind of do that with Picard before
He
in
did
the,
that.
did,
in the
but
finale?
Yeah, but that was trying to solve a particular problem, right?
Yeah, right.
That Picard kind of was piecing that together. This one
Right.
is just like, okay, here you are at one point becoming a very much Looney Tune Q, where you're like the size of the entire galaxy,
Yep,
and
right.
then snap back again.
At one
And-
time, they're inside a star, observing. They're watching the story of younger Q unfold,
Right.
and through this storytelling, you find out that Q has met this entity who's trapped somewhere cold with snow and whatnot, and Q runs into this entity which they call Zero, and sometimes the Kindle reader called him O. Which that was better. 'Cause you have O and Q now as letters of the alphabet, but
And they met a character named Not.
and Zero is an opportunist and says, "Hey,
Wait a
we
minute, Cyril was on Prodigy. I'm very
right." That's
confused
what I was.
here.
This is not
Right.
Citizen Zero. And tricks Q into releasing him from wherever he is, and he's got these gut feelings to say this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea, and the older Q is going, "You should have listened to your gut." And Picard is going, "I can see this.
Yeah,
is a bad
really.
idea."
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't even know what this guy did. And it's
Right.
a bad idea.
So we've now put together the pieces of the puzzle that's like, okay, they did something. He was in prison somewhere. Q helped him get out because he was tricked into it. It's like, oh, maybe you're not all that powerful if you're afraid to do this. And
Mhm.
oh, you have
And
to
of course,
play
the
by the
first thing-
rules. Well, you don't play by the rules, do you? So
And Q starts bragging about the Q continuum, which really gets this Zero's
Yeah.
attention.
because they want to
Right.
go to, what was it, some star or system or something, and he says, isn't there a shortcut we can take? Oh yeah, we go through the Q continuum. And of course Zero's ears perk up at that
Oh yeah.
and
Good.
tricks
Good
him into
tell.
taking him to the continuum, which you're not allowed to go in unless you're a Q.
Oh, but we an important thing happens here. So Q goes to leave, right? This whole scene on this the snowy planet, and he
Oh,
basically summons the Guardian.
the
And
Guardian doesn't
lets
let
him through, and the Guardian's
out.
like goes like, no, this thing,
Go.
no, don't let this thing through. This is this is a violation. You cannot do this. And when Q drags him through, the Guardian kind of like
Hangs on
fizzles
to it, like-
out.
There's this membrane, yeah, and then short circuits or something.
Yeah.
So
was-
that's a big sign too that this is probably a mistake.
Yep. So they free Zero, they get him to the continuum. He's somehow, Q vouches for Zero, and now they're in the
He's with
continuum.
me. He's with me. He's all good.
At the guard shack with the little gate.
So we're
I'll
left
get you in the club.
and this is the it
Are
was
you on
like
the list? Yeah, that's right.
the last page of the book, I believe, was
It's just somebody falling asleep on the typewriter.
I think so. Yeah, and the audio reader's going Q Q Q Q Q Q Q Q Q Q Q Q Q. There's like half a page of just Qs, and that's supposed to be the voice outside the barrier. So we don't know what Zero did to be in prison, or initially why he's stuck on the outside of the barrier, but there's a grudge to fulfill. Picard has not put all the pieces together. Of course, current Man Q doesn't explain anything.
Right. Thank you so much for this whole trip.
Riker has temporarily broken free from the Calamarain. He got warped for about 5 seconds, but they caught up and slowed him down again.
So they're pounding the ship with tachyon.
Now here's the part that I think fell through the cracks. Or so they send Reg to Astrometrics or something, something a little safer, and he's taking
Broccoli.
He's taking apart the probe that they sent out prior to sending out the experiment.
He's analyzing the results, and he says, "Hey, I might have an idea how to communicate with the Calamarain." He initially approaches Riker, but there's a squabble going on between him and Lem Fall, so he backs off, never brings it up again.
Right.
But somehow Data can translate the electrical impulses or something into a rudimentary language combined with what Deanna is feeling, because she's reaching out with her senses, and they fire their faces and they go, "Oh, that hurt."
Yeah, you might want to disengage for a second here when we fire this round of
but
we'll just think of
Reg
Deanna
never
Troy.
brings up his data points again. And you've been trying to crack the code of how to communicate with them. Data found this end around way that was very primitive, I'll say, but it worked. And like what
I can see them all. I can see them all standing on the bridge. Data, Barclay, and Deanna Troy. And thank you, Data. That's great insight. And that's giving him the credit.
And of course,
Barclay's right there.
We know what Barclay knows, but the Calamarain talk about the moat, and
which is the barrier.
Well, no, the moat. Well, I think it's something like the piece of the moat or something like that. So we know that Barclay thinks that there is a piece of the barrier in their probe that's down in engineering that he was taking apart.
Oh, okay. I did not catch that.
So they want that returned. And, they say, we're just going to leave. We won't cause you any problems. And they start to go. No, you didn't do what we asked you to do, essentially. You need to put that thing back.
It's like taking a piece of lava from Hawaii.
Exactly. Or that,
where these rocks come from? Oh,
came from another dimension. We also have another character in here who kind of gets sidelined for a lot of the story, which is a new character.
We have a couple new characters. Yeah, we get the new Worf's replacement, security officer.
That's her right there, isn't it?
And then there's a Chazy or Chazi or something at the helm. But yeah.
So
what do you
Lieutenant Beta Leoro is an Ngosian, and who else is an Ngosian? And that would be that is Roga Danar. That's from that episode.
Yeah.
From The Hunted.
Yep.
So she has been reconditioned because, as we know in the episode of The Hunted, that the Ngosians said, okay, we'll bring back the genetically and biochemically altered soldiers from this prison moon, and we'll try to reintegrate them into society. But it's not been that long, and nobody really knows how well that whole process went.
It was kind of leaking through because she had a bit of shacks in her, like, let's fire now.
Drop the warp core. Drop the warp core.
I was essentially saying to Bonnie tonight, talking about it, I said, she keeps being shut down until they finally say, okay, you can eject the warp core,
Well, you've seen all those videos where Worf's denied, no Worf, no, there's they keep shutting him down too.
She would say defensive posture. We should have the shields up. We should do this. We should do that.
Well, she was ready to. No. She was ready to shoot Q, and she was on the defensive big time when he showed up.
Which she had all the rights to be.
Yeah, that's her job.
No. I mean, she was. I thought she was going to be a bigger character, as you said, than she actually was.
Right. So again, you don't know if in the other two books, if suddenly a lot of this comes into play.
Right.
But my point is, getting through the first book, I'm left with nothing. Like there's no resolution to anything. Usually you will have maybe a subplot that mostly gets resolved. Nothing. Absolutely
I would have
nothing.
thought that they would have let Picard put the dots together, and we would have understood the storyline of what did young Q do and what were the ramifications of that, so that we can move on to the second book. But it did feel a little like, did we end a chapter or two early?
Yeah. And even Picard didn't listen to anybody's advice. He was a little bit on the arrogant side when he was like, I will not let any race tell us, whether or not we're going to explore or anywhere. So, I mean, so that kind of leads into the next book, I guess, too. I don't know.
Well, Picard is doing what Picard is going to do. He's going to say, look, you either give me a good reason or we're going to keep going ahead with this project.
Yeah.
Don't tell us no and then walk away. And of course, Q being Q won't directly answer your question.
Yeah.
So we're taking on this long protracted journey of, here's where I had dinner 50 million years ago.
Right. Yeah.
I noticed that I did not split the bill. I just handed it to the other person.
We went Dutch.
There were some interesting, I'll call them visualizations within the book. They had the jade cliffs of whatever planet. From
Immortu.
Yeah.
Imatru.
We've heard references to that in archaeological records from Next Gen. And here he is in that place in a number of different perspectives. So Q and Picard are standing on the balcony and they watch this. Oh, hey, this mythical ceremony is actually happening in front of our eyes. That's interesting. But look over there. And he's like, what am I looking for? See that?
Us.
Yeah. Well, it's young Q. And then zap, they're over in another place. And there's us over there looking at you. We're looking at us, looking at him. And it's like, well, how many times are we going to play this game?
Yeah.
But it was kind of a fun Q moment, but also, Jean-Luc could get into the, wow, we're really here. This is cool.
Right.
Like seeing the Roman Colosseum in all its glory.
I liked how he thought it was cool until the ceremony started.
Yeah, and people were dying in this ceremony. The legendary skydivers or
like parasailer type of.
Yeah, they would ride in on these beasts, and then from some undetermined height, fairly high, I would say, they jumped off the beasts and they had to land in this little hexagonal, was it? Octagonal
I thought it was a circle, but
circle area. If they landed within the circle area, basically free falling, no parachute, no nothing, free falling. If you landed in the circle, you were considered a hero, and everybody celebrated. If you landed outside the circle, you got eaten.
Yeah,
like some huge water beast, mosasaur kind of things. Chomp. And you were going like, oh, what a shame. But
you can just see Picard with his tea going, what?
Oh,
a spit take.
Yeah.
Well, that went horribly wrong. I did not expect that.
Didn't see that coming.
Right.
Isn't it grand, Jean-Luc?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. When they went to see when they went to the Guardian of Forever, it pretty much looked the way it did in TOS and anytime since, because apparently that's how old those ruins are.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, the one in Discovery looked a little different.
Well, that's Carl. Carl does weird stuff. So
Oh, okay, Carl. That's right. Well, hey, by the way, his wife and his baby were also named Q, right?
Yes.
Well, what was wrong with
in the continuum is
Wait a
named
minute.
Q.
Yes.
No. What about
No.
Corin Burnson?
He was named Q.
Q2.
There was the lady that they did reference.
Oh, the woman who was
Robin
Yeah.
Andrews, something.
Yeah.
But she was a Q, and then she was raised human, and then shunned by the continuum. Like, well, they did light that up a little bit.
Well, I mean, Corin Burnson's version or his character was named Q2. Why don't
Well, that was maybe to just keep it clear for us because, you know, we can't understand the continuum
right?
in its infinite
Right.
Oh, it's
levels. and
so
They had to
so advanced than
simplify
humans.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can't understand it.
Right. They had to dumb it down to the gas station in the desert highway.
No, I'm just saying. I thought it was interesting that everybody else is named Q, but Corbin Burnson is like, oh,
Hey,
we don't talk about why
He was in LA Law, so he gets, I don't know, he gets something for that. Who knows?
his license plate is Q2 as he's driving.
he slams the trunk and it says Q2. Take that. That's a callback. Ask your parents, kids. Anyway. All righty. And Troy thinks that there's something up with Dr. Fall, that she first thought it was because he was hiding the secret about having the Iverson's disease. But he did fess up to that fairly early on when he started
Mhm.
hacking up a lung that, you know, maybe there's a bit wrong with him. And
His lungs like a rock.
but
He
she
coughed like a gorn.
yeah, but then she goes, well, I don't think that that's what he's hiding. So this is clearly something that they're making a point saying, shine a light on, hey, there's something you don't know about why he's doing what he's doing,
Right.
which is that's when started to give me the very serious Star Trek V vibes,
Mhm.
that somehow he was in contact with the thing on the other side of the barrier that was saying, you need to
Hey,
get
do
through
you know
here.
do you know a guy named Cybok?
Yeah.
What does
There's a
Zero
lot of
need?
laughs.
What does Zero need with a starship?
Right.
Yeah, and I think that the galactic barrier has lost some of its shine over the years, because even in
Kind
the
of
book they
purple.
point out that the Enterprise, Kirk's Enterprise had been through the barrier several times.
Yep.
And now the Discovery's been through the barrier, so it's like, well, it says more like a little screen than a barrier per se, I
Screen.
suppose.
It's like a screen door instead of a wall.
Yeah, that's right. This you can get through there if you make yourself
Yeah.
small. If you get through there.
Right.
So I don't know. I imagine we're going to get through the barrier, because that's going to be the point that this fissure, this opening does end up happening, because whatever's on the other side clearly needs that to happen.
Somewhere in book 2, yeah, he'll get through.
Oh, and by the way, something I don't know if I can't remember if you mentioned it, but Troy also was able to sense what the Calamarain were feeling, and it wasn't anger or anything, it was more fear. And that's where that kind of led into, realizing
Right.
that they're scared about us traveling across the barrier, or
And I
what lies over on the other side. It was, what's that? I was reading the synopsis, and they were talking about what was the name of that fence? And they were it was the theory that, well, you just don't knock down the fence to knock it down. There's a reason why it's up, and you should
Right.
understand why it's up.
Right.
And there's a
Well, as I
reason why
said-
the barrier's there.
That's why I think the Calamarain were doing what they were doing, because of that piece of the barrier that's on board the Enterprise,
Hmm.
that they want
Yeah.
that put back like now.
Yeah, because I think they understand. But there's a reason why the barrier's there, and I don't know if they understand what it is, but they understand that there's a reason why it's there, and it's not. We should not traverse it.
How come the galactic barrier is always shown as like this really thin line when it's supposed to be all around the
Right.
galaxy?
Oh,
You go over it.
I thought the same thing too. I was like, we'll just go.
You just go over it. I mean, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's probably represented this way, that, well, the reason you can see other galaxies is because only at a certain
Angle.
proximity to it will
Oh.
you be able to see you'll see a certain angle of the barrier, and that's it, as I'm
Mhm.
guessing.
Yeah. So if you took your ship and rotated 90 degrees, you're going to still see the same barrier, just
Yep.
on a different piece of the sky.
Yep.
You know, it really
That's
sucks if they go through it and like warp and impulse engines don't work in that part of space, and they're just kind of stuck.
Well, they did, if I remember right, they did mention the fact that it's a long freaking way to the next galaxy. What are you going to do out there? You're going to need a generational ship at warp 9.9. because you
Mhm.
don't want to go to warp 10, kids.
Hey,
Salamander.
salamanders, you know?
Right. But you can certainly go close to it, but it's going to take a long time to get there.
Right.
So what are you
Even
going to do out there?
even when they turned him into a cube, those aliens were using the Enterprise to get there. It was going to take forever to get to the other galaxy.
Yep.
Mhm.
And they were going, I think, at, I don't know, because I know the scales changed, but they were like booking it in the original Enterprise. It was just going to take forever to get there because it's a really long ways away.
Let's go warp 10. No, don't go warp 10.
No, please don't. You don't want that. You just don't want that. All right. Well, I think we should rate the individual books,
Yes, definitely.
and then we can maybe also rate it in total when we get to the end of
Oh.
the third book.
Get the
And before
spreadsheet, listener Diane.
Yeah, that's right. No, go ahead.
Oh, I thought one of you was going to say
We're starting a
go-
new tab for books.
Yeah,
yes.
you go for it. You go first, Chuck.
What's our scale on
Calamarain.
Calamarain?
Yeah,
That's too nebulous. Ba-doom.
lowercase q's.
I was going to say something more baby related, like Q diapers or something.
I was going to say Iverson's diseases? No, that's not.
Hey, hey.
The
Probe,
galaxy rattle.
the basketball globe planet he had. What are we rating this on?
Broccoli's.
No, been there, done that.
All right, fine.
Well, how about the experiment was going to be what was the okay? That
Rated on zeros.
was to a probe containing a mononuclear strand of quantum filament suspended in protomatter matrix. A protomatter. There we go. Protomatter.
That's
Okay.
it.
All right, fine.
Protomatter. Wait, didn't we use protomatter on the Genesis planet?
Never mind it. Everything is fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, we don't have a big budget, Chuck. We gotta
Ah,
recycle some things.
Apparently, so did David. All right. Protomatter. Do you measure that by the cup? By the kilogram? What do you-
Liters. And leaders.
yeah, leaders, because this is
Okay.
future.
I'm going to give this 6.5 liters of protomatter.
Mm.
I thought it was, a decent story. I liked the way that there were significant references, but at times it got to be too much, but they were in the right place. I was able to visualize the Jade Cliffs with the balconies and the fire skydivers, whatever it was. So I was taken to those worlds, or in the middle of a sun, as it
Yeah,
were.
really.
It's
Right.
really hot in here.
Yeah, and heavy. Everything's heavy.
But there were at times there were too many references. We don't need a callback for every paragraph. I really didn't. And again, maybe some of this will resolve itself in the next two books. But why was Lady Q and Baby Q there? They didn't really add a whole lot to me. So it had potential to be higher, is what I'm saying. But there were a number of things that left me scratching my head, going, swing and a miss. But there were some good hits too.
Mhm.
6.5 liters.
Okay.
Was that what really?
Yeah,
Leaders.
leaders of
Liters of
protomatter.
Protomatter. I don't know. Is that good or bad? Is that dangerous? Can you?
The
the
it's
Genesis
fine. It's
planet
fine.
over
No, everything's
Only if
fine.
you
Don't
drink
worry
it.
about It's
Don't
fine.
drink it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, now he tells me. Look, I only have a little left.
Don't drink that, Chuck.
I got I got
it's
my
not
lucky,
for internal use.
got my lucky red shirt on.
it's
I'm
not
fine.
potable.
Yeah, lucky red shirt and drinking
Yeah.
protomatter. Nice. All right. You want to go next, Craig?
Sure. I was going to go a little higher. I'm going to say 7.5. Reading it, I really thought that it felt like a Star Trek, a TNG episode almost.
Yeah,
It
It wasn't a
maybe-
slog to get through. It read
No, it was maybe a little bit on the larger side because I knew that it continues on for three more, stories or two more stories. So, but I think Chuck may have mentioned this the other day, and I really agree with that. Is that as you're reading it, the author really captured the voices of the characters, and you can really easily fall into hearing Troy, here in Picard, here in Q,
Yeah.
or
Riker. Yeah.
even Riker,
Jordy, can you get the damn thing working?
or even Geordi. Listen to him.
Yeah.
So I thought it was enjoyable as that. I think it was well written as far as that goes. So yeah, I'm gonna say 7.5, and I was enjoying it for the most part until I'm ready to read the next one, kind of see where this goes.
All right. And I'm going to go way down here. I'm giving it a 4.
Oh, I knew it.
I agree with a lot of what you said, Craig, about the dialogue. For the most part, felt very TNG. And then there were times when Picard gives that speech to Q on the bridge, I'm going, that is way too long, long and uninterrupted. It just goes on forever. And I felt like it was overwritten in that type of dialogue. It needed to be broken up a lot more. I like I'm giving it the 4 because of that. And also I liked the concept of saying, hey, why did we actually try to get through the damn galactic barrier as a thing that we do? Because it's there. And so I like that as a concept, but the fact that this book doesn't resolve anything is just such a non-starter for me as far as recommending a book, because it says, no, you must read the other two to have any of this make sense. It's like, do I? I don't think I have to.
Yeah, you could have watched
Well,
the first Star Wars movie in 1977 and gone home happy.
Well, we were talking earlier, I think maybe before we started recording, that the 3 books are also one called the Q Continuum.
Yes.
Which came out first, the Q Continuum or the trilogy?
Oh, no, the
1, 2, 3, and then the
Q Continuum is literally the first section is called Q Space. And
No.
the second,
What I mean is, did the compilation come out first?
no,
Or did the 3
books came
individual
out.
novels come
No.
out first?
Because you would never be able to release the individual ones because you would have them all together. So
Right.
the individual ones came out first. So you had to wait X amount of time.
That's what I'm saying. So it would be a little frustrating to go, they didn't resolve a daggum thing, rather than having the whole trilogy and you're able to read it one right after another.
How did you feel after you watched Fellowship of the Rings? Like, we're not done. We just got the band together and marched on.
Well,
and these people went that way and these people went that way. What?
Wait a minute. I loved it. It didn't matter. Oh no, I didn't really think Lord of the Rings. I didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, I'm ready for part 2. Of course, I knew there was a part 2.
Okay, this is weird. It's weird because Q Space was first published, as we talked about, August 1998. The next book in the series, Q Space, which is what we will be reading next, came out.
No, Q Zone is the second one.
Q. I'm sorry, Q. Because I'm going back and forth in the browser here.
Strike.
All right, so the second, because my browser is doing the different place. Okay, so Q Zone was released also in August of 1998.
Okay.
But, however, the last book, which is Q Strike, came out in
I'm looking at it in
September of 1998.
Oh, same year.
Months
all of
later.
them.
Yeah.
So it definitely did not come out, as far as I could tell, it did not come out as the Q Continuum originally, because they didn't release all 3 as individual books. So again, why would you either going to get one or the other? You're not going to get both. So you want to have the 3 individual books.
There it is on the back cover. Look how yellow it is.
Wow.
Hey,
It's like brown.
maybe you should return that to the library. How long have you had that? Since 98?
I got this off of the free table on the Star Trek cruise. We
Oh.
were at the pre-party at the Radisson, and there was a table full of books. So I just randomly picked this one up. I go, that looks fun. And then we realized it's the third part of a trilogy.
Right.
So
I
we're
was gonna say,
starting from the beginning.
I thought you checked that out from the library like 30 years ago.
It's only a month apart, and
Yeah, and so they
I
were
would
all
say
written,
that
and they just.
the publisher probably had to just crank them out at the
I think
right.
it was the way it was written because they're all three were written at the same time, obviously, because they
Yes.
published them within a month or so of each other, and then they had the compilation of the whole trilogy as one. So I don't know. I can kind of forgive it not quite resolving anything, like a TV show, like one of the episodes. You know, there was note to be continued. You know?
Yeah, but well, first of all, you usually get that within a week, right? And the 2nd thing is usually even within that, you have something that resolves itself. You have some subplot, so you can feel some closure on something in that story. You know, say you have the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Some of those subplots resolve during the course of one book. So it's not literally every single thing in this story is left hanging.
Right.
And that's just a little too much.
It is
I
a little
think.
much. I agree with that. I'm not arguing with you about it. I'm just saying
Put
I
'em
kinda
up,
see-
put 'em up.
I just kind of see where it went because the guy would probably just kept writing. Oh, let's make this into 3 novels.
Well, that's why you have an editor. An editor.
Coming
should have
in
pointed that out.
mid-August from Pocketbook, Star Trek Q's Guide to the Continuum. I think
This is
there's a
very
picture of-
confusing.
There's a
Q's
picture of
Hitchhiker's Guide to
Born,
the Continuum.
Wayne,
But is that Q or Q
the
or
Borg
Q2?
Queen, and I can't tell
Yeah.
because it's too dark. But the URL on the back page cover doesn't work.
What a surprise.
It's so old. It's HTTP. And when I do use the URL, it goes to a Vimeo page. It's simonsays.com/st. Darn.
Hey, by the way, I think if I read this right, what I was looking up, I wanted to make sure that Corbin Burnson was also named Q or was Q2. I just wanted to make sure while we were talking, and I pulled it up, and he wanted to be part of the Star Trek lore. That's why he wanted to be on the show, and he got the part, but he was uncredited.
Really?
Why would they not give him some credit?
Maybe that was part of the deal. It's like, well, you know, we have this part, you can do it, but you know, we can't pay you as a special guest and so forth, and you're gonna have to do it as an uncredited part or something.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that they couldn't throw his name in the credits.
It's like, well, nowadays people might not know who he is, but I mean, back at the time that this came out, people knew who Corbin Burnson was. So
Sure. Yeah. No,
I
I just
don't
thought
think
it
he
was-
needed a credit at that.
Maybe
back
not.
then.
I just thought it was interesting. I saw the note that said he was uncredited, but
Yeah, no respect at all.
yeah. Here on Memory Alpha, it says he received no credit for this role, for his role. Wow. Okay.
How many
Well, at least I
quaternions did he get though?
But I remembered. So that's all that matters. Right.
Yep, that's all that matters. So as long as you remember him, he'll still be Q2.
There we go.
All right. Anything else we need to wrap up before we get to the end?
No, I actually like reading these novels because it does feel like watching an episode or, you know, filling in some blanks and that kind of stuff, even though
And it's good filler material till we get back to Strange New Worlds.
I know we keep this up. We may be making our own fan fiction. I don't know.
So no.
I'm making my own fan music.
So we will. I think we'll be able to get through all 3 of the books before Strange New Worlds premieres in July because we're just in the middle of May at this point. So the next book will be Q Zone, and
Calzone.
Yeah, Calzone. Be Calzone. Now I feel like Liberty Bibberty all of a sudden. It's gonna be Calzone.
No, not that. No.
I've been
You know,
taking voice lessons.
When during the time the world stopped, shall we say, in 2020, there was, and I can't remember the name of the soap opera now because I just watched it. I was watching it for this. There was a soap opera that was going to have on dummies in some scenes to be taking the part of people, especially in intimate scenes of
Wait,
involving.
how would you know? How would you know?
Well, now stop that. And I was watching the show going, "Oh, wow," and I don't think I ever ended up seeing that. And I watched it for a couple of months. The actor who does Liberty Bibberty was on that show as a doctor.
Oh my.
And now every time I see him going, well, that doctor just doesn't have time to be doing this stuff. Why is he doing
Yeah.
these commercials? You know?
Yeah, he's got patience.
Yeah, come on now. All right, we're getting into very silly stuff
I
here.
know.
So
You can tell we've been streaming a lot of stuff because that's where those commercials show up.
indeed. All right, you can find me, Clinton, at the Comedy Forecast, all one word with the number 4. I am desperately trying to get an episode out, but things like the topic is Trek come up and I have to put it aside. But there's an episode almost done, and so probably within the week that will be out, he says, with his fingers crossed with hope. And again, there's a lot of episodes you can check out on the site. If you're waiting for the new episode to come along, there's about 860 episodes out there. So feel free to browse the back catalog, if you will. And who speaks for you guys?
Well, look, you can find Chuck and I at chuckchat.com/Technorama, or just search for Technorama Podcast in Google and you can find us. And we're pretty much in any pod directory podcast directory that you can find. So you'll find us and you'll find all 8,000 of our episodes. Not saying our library has to be bigger than Clinton's, but
That's a lot of episodes right there. Hey.
so go check us out. We do an episode usually weekly, but we'll return sometime in 2026. It sounds like we got a lot going on in May. By the way,
Yeah.
so,
And these are busy times indeed.
yeah. So yeah, go check us out. You can listen to the backlog till we start catching back up.
Okay. Then it's time to hit the theme, boys. If you like the show, please be sure to tell a friend about it and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear from you. Follow us on Blue Sky at The Topic is Trek. Visit our Facebook page, or remember, you can call us at 816-TREKKER. That's 816-873-5537. Operators are standing by because we can't afford chairs. Until next time, on behalf of Chuck, Craig, and myself, I'm Clinton, thanking you for listening. And as we always say here on The Topic is Trek, don't put on the red
shirt.
Thank God they got some words in front of me.
Chuck did not get the memo clearly.
It's my lucky red shirt.
Oh, well, that's different.
I want to see you bleach blonde your hair like that guy on the floor.
This show was made with absolutely no AI. In fact, it was made with no I.
That's right.
Hey, wait a minute now.
All right, we are going to sign off the live stream. Thank everybody for joining us.
Thank
If
you
you're
very
watching
much.
live or watching later, we appreciate it very much. We will be back soon
Yes.
Happy 60.
60.
Hey, it doesn't look a day over 59.
Star Trek.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.